when you're in the state of flow, you got to understand a few things. Number one, your self does not exist when you're in the flow. You're completely in the present moment. You're embodying the present moment. You are the present moment, in fact. So when you start overthinking, overanalyzing, trying to predict the future, trying to think of all of these different types of expectations and tropes, start to ask yourself, what is your major complaint in your life? And start to understand that that complaint is not really your main complaint, but it's a complaint underneath it of something where you aren't actually activating your desires and your core needs. There's 6 core needs. Usually people start to function with these 6 core needs. And it's very, very powerful when someone can tap into this energy of these core needs. For instance, one of my core needs is variety. So I allow myself to step into that novelty. Any new situation, I feel awakened by it. I allow myself to explore every single facet of that thing, okay? And I'm doing this not in a way to analyze it or deconstruct it, because if you really want to get to the quantum physics of it, you got to understand that there is something deeper, okay? A layer deeper, a substrate of reality that you're tapping into. So when the self disappears, there's another powerful voice that takes over, that emerges, where you start to fumble with the awkwardness and allow yourself to reconstruct your persona on the spot, okay? On the spot, because you'll notice when your ego feels threatened, those are the times where you make the greatest leaps, the greatest evolutions. And I've seen this in my students, and I've seen this through countless people that I've trained over the many years. And if you're interested in this dynamic, we are having the retreat from Costa Rica, okay? I have to extend my ticket a little bit, so I'm gonna reach there on the 17th of this month. I'm gonna stay till the 25th or so. I just wanna say that, anybody who's missing out on this opportunity wants to purchase online tickets for that, okay? You'll still get the benefits of attending online, okay? You might not be there in person, but you're interested in the online tickets for that Costa Rica event. You shoot me a message, okay? Because we want to see you there in your virtual form, okay? If you can't be there in the physical form, that's completely valid. Maybe you don't have the cash, maybe you can't invest right now. I get that, okay? Right now it's kind of converting itself into a residency program, because I've understood that, staying with people and being in the same spot and learning from each other, I think that's the best way to really create trainees or students or, people from this path working to really work together and start to flourish, So yeah, that's just my ideas around that. Let's go back to the topic at hand. So, when you're charismatically being you are not second guessing yourself all the time, okay? This is a very, very big point that I want you to notice, okay? How many times in your life do you find yourself second guessing yourself? You're like, yeah, I'll do that, but maybe that, or maybe this, or you start overthinking, right? And I noticed before a travel, you have something called the pre-ascension or the pre-game jitters, whatever you want to call that. Wow, there's a little bug here. Looks like a red bee. Maybe that's a light coat, huh? How are you feeling? How are you feeling? And through the emotion, you can calibrate it back into flow, where you'll actually rest slightly above neutrality, okay? It's gonna be a rush of all of these emotions and a wind down of all of these emotions. So you notice that after you have a really heavy workout or a really heavy meal or a really awesome movie or an epic peak performance moment, right? An epic peak experience, like one of those highlight reels of your life, you go through some kind of an ego death, right? You go through some kind of a rebirth. And these events that we host are daily rebirths, and I really find it fascinating to be able to come into the world with all of these new forms. And again, I'm admiring myself more and more through this process because variety is one of my core needs. You see, so I'm meeting my core needs through this flow state, archetype, journey, and so forth, okay? Number one. Second core need I have is significance, a feeling of significance, which doesn't really serve me too much when it comes down to the flow state because, again, flow state is this impersonal thing, right? My significance has got to come from a selflessness if I am tapping into the flow state. So I'm finding the significance of my own mission, my own path, and my own journey so that I can help you guys. I don't wonder what's up with the lighting. So that we can help you guys, you've got to understand what your core needs are. Okay? And the last one for me, right now, I feel like my core needs are going to change in the future as I get older, as I get wiser. Right now, it's growth. I'm very inspired by growth. I'm very inspired by looking at my physical body transform in the mirror. I'm very inspired by, being able to break out of my shell and talk to certain people and engage with different environments and archetypes and allow myself to fully immerse myself into this new place, into this new environment, into allowing myself the gifts that may be hidden or like a treasure trove that I haven't really tapped into yet, right? You guys feel that? Sometimes we might have all of these hidden talents that we haven't even discovered because we're not tapped in. We're not in the moment, right? We're constantly thinking about what's happened or what is going to happen. What about what's happening right now? What's wrong with what is happening right now? Nothing. It's just your thoughts around what is happening right now, your expectations, your storylines. That's what becomes the problem. Remove all of the mind, okay? Get into no mind. Just appreciate being without any expectation, okay? Just simply notice the delicate nature of this flower. This flower right now, it's not competing with anybody, okay? It doesn't have FOMO, right? It's just blooming. It's just doing its job. It's just doing its dharma, its duty, okay? Just showing up. This is a greater equation, okay? A math node that keeps changing and expanding. It's just there to grow. And that's what I'm saying. If that is its core need as well, right? That flower. So it also shares a similar core need with me. And then where my mind is going to is a fool in Bengali is flower, okay? And a fool is the zero, or the 0 point in a sense, the jester in the tarot deck, okay? The jester in the deck of cards. The wild card, right? The one that is the Uno reverse. We're, by the way, creating a trap card spell, which will help us protect ourselves from very, very negative influences, destructive frequencies, and so forth. So if you are interested in that energetic system that we create from that ritual, let us know, because this is very, very powerful. And there is a light side version of this too, okay? Where we overwhelm someone with the love. Even our enemies, overwhelm your enemies with love. Give them guidance, give them kindness, okay? You will notice the energy shifts and the energy will change, okay? Rather than fear of the present moment, I want you to be in awe of the present moment. Look through a fresh pair of eyes at every single moment, okay? Can you believe that these leaves, they're teeming with life, they're teeming with opportunity, right? They're giving off all of these essences and CO2 and so forth. It's very important to understand that without these trees, we would actually not have that much shelter and we would be suffering. So thank you, and let me be in gratitude to Mother Gaia. Let me be in gratitude to what I'm doing and forming and saying and speaking on, right? Because it is going to ultimately help me to shape myself to help the world and help others, okay? Ultimately, we're here to serve, okay? And there is a certain, what would you say, improvisational quality that you need, okay, to be able to handle this, okay? It's the ability to adapt, the ability to quickly think of solutions rather than worrying about the problems and perpetuating the problems. It's about, that's a problem and I love that, baby. Bring it on, okay? It's that attitude. It's like you're not running from the issues anymore. You're going, okay, I'm gonna own it. What's up? This is part of my journey. Let's go. right? I love my fate. I love my reality. Let's go. I accepted this. I made the choice to be like this and suffer like this. Before my incarnation, I made choices to what kind of parents I would have, what kind of, lifestyle I would lead, what kind of people that I would lead. And probably I'm doing what I am most called to do, okay? Which is creating this revolution, the spiritual revolution of masculinity, but also this upward spiral, okay? This upward spiral of positive momentum is going to change not only the men of this planet, but also the women and the relationships, the way we relate to each other, the way we are these flow state pleasure alchemists and these flow state Jedis. And there's no trying anymore, right? The effort becomes effortless after a while. You'll start to notice this. Do something enough times and the effort becomes effortless, right? And that's why drillers become killers, okay? That's why if you refine your process every single day, if you notice yourself going into your edge, you will truly start to manifest the different levels of your whole relationship with your reality, okay? It's gonna change over time because you will understand that time does not really matter in this equation. It is the time that I give and I create. It's like a lot of people, they tell me, oh yeah, I just don't have the time, I just don't have the time. I have so many things going on. I just don't have the time, And hey man, time is a construct, okay? When you're in the zone, you're timeless. What are you worrying about time for, okay? Doesn't mean that I'm going to miss out on my deadlines and so forth. But I just noticed that if it doesn't call out to me, if it doesn't resonate with me, not in a feeling standpoint, this is where people gotta really watch out, okay? Because a lot of people are being led by their emotions. Discernment is very, very important on this journey because to get into a flow state, you need to be very, very aware of your boundaries, okay? Your boundaries are that, okay? It's the gatekeeper essence, okay? It's that. It's that ability for you to say, no, enough is enough. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna feel into this. I'm gonna choose this version. I'm gonna choose this version of the storyline. I'm gonna choose to respond in such a way where the universe actually supports me and I see the positivity in it. I see the golden glimmer, the ray of light, the ray of hope and sunshine that allows me to peer over the edge of my future and actually see and create, right? I become now a psychic artist instead of in my head. Because if I'm still in my head, then I'm thinking of all of the alternatives or the counterproductive, moves that I'm gonna make. But if I get out of my head and into my beingness, into my body, then I can finally be present and interact with the world again, right? From a solid framework, a standpoint where I start to, engage rather than disengage. Because usually in moments of stress, we disengage. Usually in moments of fear, we start to constrict and restrict our potentials. But what if it wasn't fear? What if it was awe? What if you were in awe of the moment? What if you were in awe and surprise rather than a fear? You see? Because, think about this, whatever negative sentence you're saying in your mind, try saying the opposite. What if something bad happens? What if something great happens? What if something fantastic happens? What if you meet somebody that's going to change your paradigm forever? What if you meet a mentor or a monk somewhere or a holy man, or you come across some different temples where you get some level of spiritual insight or downloads or codes that come in? You see, these flow state hidden light codes are everywhere, man. You got to understand that there's certain environments that are pilgrimage, traditional, indigenous, like rich grassroots places, right? Environments teeming with life and spirituality and high levels of consciousness. Just by merely being there, we will activate the gifts, and that's the beauty of Costa Rica, because it's very near the sacral chakra ley lines, which is in Lake Titicaca. And I love saying that name, Titicaca, unless, of course, you have no sense of humor. And for you, peace out, okay? That's my boundaries. So let's get it today, okay? Upward spiral, gang. I'm feeling really, really good. Feeling like I finally finalized everything. Costa Rica's happening, actually. We manifested this shit right out of thin air, which is amazing. And I think that this is a very, very powerful portal for us all, because as you're on this channel as well, you're going to receive these very interesting ways in which I will be able to share with you my epiphanies and different things on this trip. So as long as you're tapped into this channel, maybe you're tapped into Primal Sutra as well, we will be doing a lot of content in Costa Rica, okay? So it's gonna be boosted up, marked up, VIP stuff, bonus stuff. We're just going all the way in with the value because we want to see people actually win. You see, we want to see people actually take their boundaries, and we want to see people take the different areas of their life where they feel like they're complaining about or they're constricting towards, and understand what is the inner child want, you know? What is your shadow self want? What are all these different characters and all these different parts of you that have split and they're not working together in this holistic system? You see, I recognize something. I have all the tools. I have all the tools. Now it's about putting the tools together in a right framework so that it becomes the priest-beast lifestyle. And that's what we're slowly leaning into, is we're understanding this framework of health, wealth, and relationships. These are the top 3 areas in our life that people most struggle with, that people start to second guess themselves in these 3 areas. So what about you? Let me ask you right now, where do you feel like you can engage with more? Is it your health? Is it your wealth? Is it your relationships? Let me know in the comments, and let me see how I can support you in that, okay? I hope you have an incredible day today, wherever you are. Stay shining, stay golden, remain focused, because a focused person is a determined person, okay? It doesn't matter if they get to the goal a week later or 2 weeks later. It doesn't matter. The timeline is not important. The relentlessness and the perseverance is. The ability for you to peer into the edge of the future, not to overthink about it or cast expectation or judgment, but to remain fluid and curious and adaptable and versatile as this avatar through this matrix that is going to keep changing and leveling up, whether you like it or not, my friends. And you will notice a stark difference in the people that have this kind of lifestyle, this momentum, this vivacity, this opening up of the channels, this energetic construction that seems to be rippling inside of me right now as I speak to you through this camera. So my friends, hit that like and subscribe button. Join the Primal Sutra Adepts program. Join the Costa Rica retreat. We still have 2 spots left if you guys are interested, okay? Let me know. This is the last chance. If you are in the US, it's going to be easy to get tickets and so forth, okay? Let's get it. Upward spiral. May we never be the same again. Us, take care. Boom.